Yep.
Welcome to the Cure Team meeting.
Barb, can you get on Skype? Oh, you're on your phone. You're on your phone. Doesn't matter.
Let me try to boot my computer. Hang on.
Okay. Good thought, mate.
Thank you for the welcome.
Did you and Barb ever get a chance to talk, Ross, this morning?
A few minutes, yes.
Yeah, I called Barb.
Yes.
You know, it's funny, I got that thing from you, that little nudge, that note, you know, because
Yeah.
I'd forgotten to call Barb and tell her.
Never mind. I managed to talk to her. Actually, she called me. We talked for a few minutes because she had to get ready for the Cure Team meeting. And anyway, if she wants, we can talk a bit longer, not tonight, but some other time. We'll get each other one way or another.
Great.
Anyway, what I want to say, and I wrote a tweet about it, that I think that Barb is a real warrior.
Yeah, she is. She's a great warrior.
Yes. She has guts.
And brains, and heart,
Yes,
and balls.
you're right. Yeah, absolutely.
I see someone else signed up. Oscar Pettit got a subscription.
Nice.
No information about Oscar Pettit.
Can you repeat the name?
Oscar, O-S-C-A-R.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Pettit, or Petit. P-E-T-I-T. We say Pettit.
By the way, talking about subscribers, do you remember, Greg, that you gave me the name of an Italian lady, Ursula, I don't remember the surname, and I got in touch with her, and she told me that she had the book Awaiting Munich, and she was reading it, but she couldn't have a signal, and blah, blah, blah. I offered my help, but I haven't heard from her ever since.
Well, so she failed the test so far.
Yes, she did. I also thought not really. I got in touch with Liz Andreasen, messaging each other because she says that her Skype doesn't work well, and she's doing in Munich. So she has a big tumor, I think you know.
Yes.
And
Yes, we talked about that.
and she's doing what at least she's doing in Munich.
Hold on just a minute. The call is, there's a problem with the call, and everybody else is off except for you and me.
Oh, and me.
Lee.
I'm on.
Hi, Bana.
It's back now, okay.
Hey.
I'm on, and Ross has actually
Okay.
come back. She's moving now, right, Ross?
And
Yes.
Barb is still
right.
dotting, you know, she's still
I
reining
think
up
she's
this.
coming on.
So what happens is it goes out and it calls me on the phone. It says everybody's trying to call me, but it's just automatic.
She's
So
not joining us.
Barb is, she's probably on her phone. She's trying to switch over to her computer. So it'll.
So what have we been developing for the last 6 months? Franny, what, Ross?
Strategies.
Strategies, okay. Franny, what do you say?
For the last 6 months?
We've been developing something. What have we been developing?
A way to talk to people about the music.
Okay, good. Greg, what do you say?
Well, we've been developing ourselves so that we don't do anything dysfunctional when we're talking to other people. And they're attracted, they see through us and through our interaction, like how to talk, basically how to talk to them, like Franny was saying.
That's a lot of it, is actually clearing things so that when we talk to people, they see somebody functional.
And they're able to do it themselves without getting distracted, or we go off into the nether region, some sort of dysfunctional thing.
That's why you and Franny and Ross are doing sessions. Now, Barb needs to do sessions, I think, with people. I mean, somebody needs to meet with Barb and do sessions with her every week.
Yeah. I'm calling Barb back again.
Now, see, this was an exchange, by the way,
Yes, it was originally. Yeah.
when you guys, it turned into Ross working on you.
Yeah, and then she
You know
was
what?
so.
In the beginning, I used to work on her too, but
Yeah.
she was mostly on us.
Ross applies so much to herself. She learns so much, but still, it's different when you're having someone else. You can just, be and not think so much.
Well, Franny, when you worked on Ross, how did that go?
It was great. I helped her when she had a lot of stuff going on about Robbie and her illness, her illness condition, but she seems pretty fine about it all. Although I don't know, Ross, if you have any more grief about Robbie, but it was during that period of time when all that stuff was happening.
Well, Ross, Tess, do I still have grief about Robbie?
Pardon?
I still have grief about Robbie. Again,
Good, okay. Hi, Barb.
Well, that's excellent.
Here comes Barb.
Here she comes.
Here she comes, just walking down the street, singing do wah diddy diddy do diddy.
Greg and the Munich Masters.
And the Ascended Masters.
The Ascended Masters, yes, sorry.
So we've been originating, Barb. We were just saying we've been developing some. Are you in Albuquerque now?
Yeah.
Is it chilly in the basement there?
Yes.
Oh dear.
So it looks a lot better than last time I showed you, though. I should show you to ease your mind.
Okay, I'd love to see, but right now we're just talking about this. Barb, had you, where are you still there, Barb?
I don't think so.
No, she has slipped away.
All right, let's go back to Ross then.
My cat wants to join the call.
All right.
Honorary member.
Look at the camera. Come on, you can't behave like that. Showing your ass. Come on. Be polite.
It's not going to work. That cat cannot be placated, Ross.
Yeah.
So we've been developing methodologies of interacting with people that include us being in as good shape as possible.
Yes.
And that means we have to have sessions.
Yes. It's very important.
That means Barb needs sessions. Now, Ross, Tess, do I get as much out of working on Greg and Franny as I'm working on myself with them?
Do I get as much? working with Greg and Franny as I get working on myself. Oh yes, I guess yes.
So you can actually do it that way. You can work on yourself.
I'm sure I feel things every time I work with them. And then of course I have, I do music myself, I do the hub and everything, but on the session with Greg and Franny, I feel things, definitely. Yes, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Well, how would you like to take on Barb and work on her too?
Why not?
Yeah.
Try getting Barb back here.
Yeah, we lost her again. First of all, I need to know if she wants to have sessions with me. Because it takes two to tango. And if she wants to, I'm very willing. A good time for me, for example, would be it was Greg's longest time before we changed the 1 hour before the tier team meeting on Friday.
Uh-huh.
But I didn't know because for Bobby it's morning.
Yeah, it's an hour earlier.
Yeah.
So we're calling Barb. She's not answering on Skype.
Oops. Sorry.
Hello, Barb.
We have the wrong charger.
It's coming up.
Hey. Barb, how would you like to have a session with Ross every week?
Yeah, be good.
Well, you can have your next one when, Ross? When can she have her first session?
Whenever Ross is free.
Ross? Ross?
Excuse me. Yes, what about next Friday before the tier team meeting? Would that be too early for you, Barb?
I could probably do that, I guess.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't mind if you show up in your pajamas, naked, whatever. Okay? Feel
Right
free
now.
to
Okay.
express yourself, okay? Okay, good. Fine. I'm very happy.
Do you have any time to meet with Barb earlier than that?
You mean before Friday?
Just for this week, just to do something over the weekend or something?
Tomorrow is already Saturday, so no, I don't think so. And on Sunday I'm quite busy. I don't know on Monday because I'm not sure, but I'm probably seeing some people. Then let me see. Let me get my my notes.
You know what? I keep forgetting that it's 6:30 at night and you're where you are.
Yeah. Did you think it was morning for me?
I don't know. I just sort of spaced on it, but you know what?
Okay.
I wonder if you could do something where you meet Barb at like 10 o'clock at night your time or something.
I don't know.
Too late, huh?
It's too late, and I tell you what, it's not because I'm already asleep at the time, but I get very tired and sleepy, and so I won't be in as good a shape as I need to be. That's the point. That's why I prefer the afternoon. I'm feeling much better, much more alert.
Okay. Well, Friday's good or any time before Friday's good too.
Okay.
At that time.
Okay, that's perfect with me. I was thinking of Tuesday. Tuesday, I have Greg and Fran, you right? Greg, am I
Yeah,
right?
what?
Yes, the two of us together.
Okay, at 6.
At 6 o'clock, yes.
6 o'clock. So I could meet you, Barb, at 5 p.m. my time. I don't know what the time is in Albuquerque.
An hour earlier.
10 o'clock.
Is it okay for
Right,
you?
9
No,
o'clock.
5 p.m. 5 p.m. is 11 my
No.
time. It's 9 a.m. Barb's time. How's
No,
that?
Yeah. What day is that?
5.
9 a.m.
10, it'd be 9 o'clock, right, you're right.
Okay.
Tuesday. Okay.
Okay, perfect. And then what do you want to do? Do you want to do Tuesday and Friday for this week and then only Friday for the following week?
Maybe we should just do Tuesdays.
Okay, okay. And I have to write this down.
Okay.
Otherwise I will forget.
So Tuesday
Okay.
you're going to meet Ross at 9, and then you're going to meet us at 10:15 for the.
Oh,
It's
oh, on
agreed.
Tuesday. Oh, that's right. Double header.
Perfect.
Knock that out of the park, Barb.
Okay. We were in a really cold winter storm.
What is the exterior temperature in Albuquerque?
About 26 or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, we had our first winter storm. That's probably, let me check. That's what it is up in Santa Fe.
Wow.
Do you have a heater in the basement?
But there's no, not right now. But it's heated from up above. Let's see.
Oh, so when the heat goes on up there, it's warm in the basement.
Yeah, but I don't think it's on up there right now. I could go up to the other room with the other heater. But I guess but I don't want to unplug this thing again. I have the wrong charger and it's not
Right.
charging up, and otherwise, it's only good when it's plugged in. Whether there it is.
26 in Santa Fe, 30 in Albuquerque. Wind chill in Santa Fe is 18 degrees. If you look
Yeah, it's really windy. I can hear the wind.
like that here tomorrow when Franny arrives.
I thought there was a lot of snow, but there's no snow in Chicago.
If there was snow, it would be a lot colder because the snow on the ground with the wind makes it would be like 10, 15 degrees colder. Seem like it.
Yep.
Yuppers.
So we're talking about what we've been developing for the past 6 months, which is what, Barb? What would you say we've been developing for the past 6 months?
A way to interact with people in a commercial establishment, a retail establishment. I mean, with our outline, you mean?
I think that's a very good description. That's right. Like, this morning, I talked to a woman in Houston, Texas, named Mamako. And I did this with her. I actually I used the regular outline, not the short one, because that's the one I revised. And boy, did she change. And I used each thing in it and I didn't leave anything out. And I kept questioning her. It's this series of questions, you know. After I asked her for a contribution, which was
Yeah, but I don't think it's completely dry, so I'll put it back in there.
Franny, go on mute.
Sorry. Sorry,
And she couldn't go on the web, but she promised to join me on Facebook and share, you know, the things and stuff. And I felt wonderful. And this was exactly what would happen in a Cure Cafe. With somebody who started out kind of, you know, she was kind of skeptical and standoffish. And I noticed, like, part of people's skepticism, you know what, Greg? One of the things that I think people don't trust is they don't trust that we actually like them. Greg, you're on mute.
Not now,
Okay.
but I see that. Yeah, I wouldn't have said like them, but it's like, yeah, we're not really with them. Don't like them. We're not happy with them. I've noticed. I was looking at
Happy with
a lot about John Kennedy yesterday because there all this stuff on. It was the 50th anniversary of his assassination, and I looked at him and other politicians, and he seemed so like he really liked the people he was with, even though he was sort of above it all. He was just really enjoyed. Just okay, I'll talk to this person and shake their hand. It's not
Everybody do this. We're going to link our celestial body with John F. Kennedy right now.
Yeah.
Link your celestial body with JFK. Ross, did you do that? Yeah?
Yes.
Now, do you
I
notice?
also, I'm opening in my chat.
Yeah, you notice his celestial body's there. It's right there.
Oh,
Kennedy is with us. He is not gone.
Yay.
And now link your merge your gravitational body with his. And learn from him, like what Greg was just saying about how he liked people. Like, take that into yourself. Like, take that quality from his gravitational body into you. You know, the only reason I thought to say that actually was because when I linked with him, I felt it started automatically to flow into me. And that's what inspired me to say that. So yes, people are suspicious that I don't actually like them. I've noticed this in several of the people I've called. And when they start getting signals, that completely changes and clears up, and they feel they treat me like I'm a long-lost friend. So at that point, I started sharing with this woman, Mama Call, and I was telling her that I had not had the flu since 1993. And she was laughing. She was saying, like, really? She said, I get the flu every winter, 2 or 3 times. And I told her, you never have to get sick again. And she let it in. You know, it was like she had been curing things, so she could let that in. You know, it wasn't just somebody like giving her a testimonial or a recommendation for something. When people do this, it belongs to them. We are transferring this to the person. It's going from us to them. Mm-hmm. And that's why they feel connected to us. So, Barb, remember when I was asking you to do 20-mile marches,
Yeah.
did you actually ever do any?
Yeah, a little bit. When it was a certain amount of people to talk to and a certain amount of money to raise. I did a couple. I don't know what happened to that.
Like
That was right before I came here, I think.
yeah, like for a day at a time you would do them, right?
Yeah.
You don't really know what it's like until you do one every day for 2 weeks. Because, see, there are some really terrible days, and then there are some really great days. And if you do them every day, you begin to feel like you can create techniques to make it easier on the hard days and to take more full advantage of it on the days when it's easy.
I'll be doing more of that.
Because if you remember, the way that works, you ask 9 people or take in $30, whichever comes first. And you only count things that come from immunics or contributions. God, what is all that noise? Are you shuffling things around, Barb, or is that Franny?
It's
It's
Franny.
me. My phone keeps going off mute.
Yeah,
Right.
etc.
Okay. So some days, like you can have a day where you take in $600. And that works as long as the next day you do another 20-mile march where you take in at least $30. And if you do that, at the end of the month you can have enough money for an apartment and everything else you want.
Okay. I like your jacket. Yeah, that'd be good. Anna says hi.
Hi, Anna.
Hi, Anna.
She can hear you. She's back, way back.
What's in that jar?
Oh, all sorts of stuff.
Sour mash, right?
Water and colloidal silver and coconut oil.
Oh, really? Doesn't the coconut oil separate?
I don't know how it got in there. I just had an extra hunk.
But is it like in a piece, or is it
Oh, this is a piece of it. I was rubbing it on my skin and it fell in there. Yeah, no, it's just a little piece, but it's just mostly water.
so it won't dissolve? It's not going to dissolve, right?
No,
Okay.
nope. But I probably will eat it. Liquid colloidal silver and ozonated water.
Well, you know what you said before was pretty good, because you were saying that we have been developing ways of talking to people in the context of a commercial establishment, such as a coffee house. And that's exactly right. Except until October, see, we started developing this in April. But we didn't know that we were moving it towards doing it in a commercial establishment until October. See, the only reason that you can have a Cure Cafe is because you have this outline. If you didn't have this outline, it would be very awkward to try to do something in a Cure Cafe. Here, Greg, let's do a role play.
Yo. Okay.
I want you to be somebody like a customer at the counter, okay?
All right.
I am going to see, I've made some changes in this recently. So I'm going to run this and see if I can do my, like, each thing. Like I did this with this woman, and I was pretty complete. So, okay. By the way, there was an experience I had with you, Greg, where you were doing a role play and I stopped you. And I asked why you didn't stop to get into relationship with the person before you started testing with the person. And you told me, it was appropriate that you didn't need to do that. And do you know that that actually created the thing that we do in the coffee shop where we don't,
Have to hang out and make
yes,
small talk.
we don't have to, that's right.
Everybody knows that anyway you're making small talk.
Mm-hmm. So, and when I was actually challenging you, it was like, well, why didn't you do this? Like, I thought it was such an essential piece, just to start by getting into a relationship with the person. And it's not. And I never, in that whole meeting, I never acknowledged you for giving that to me. And then I went off and I put it in the outline.
Uh-huh.
And I am really bad, I just want to say, I am really bad at acknowledging people.
Well, let's acknowledge that. Okay. Sometimes you're not. I think you make a point of acknowledging people, and it sort of seemed to be out of context, but it's actually good. You just start out with, I called you up and I had this on my mind. You just say things, which is good. So thank you. Back to what you're talking about.
Well, I did the same thing with Barb. There was a point, I'll tell you, Barb, a story about you. There was one point where you were challenging me, and I was telling you that you lived in a virtual reality, and you were saying that's what everybody says to you about Immunix, that it isn't real, it's a virtual reality. And I was arguing with you and running a whole number with you. I was really dysfunctional. And meanwhile, I turned around and took what you did and made it part of the outline. It's one of the most important things in the outline, where we asked them if it's real.
Oh yeah, that was good.
You came up with that by saying that to me, and what I needed to say was not what I said back to you. What I needed to say to you was, oh, really? That's an issue? Wow.
Huh, yeah.
Let's play a role about that. And
Uh-huh.
because when I did this with this woman today, she was almost indignant that I was asking her if it was real.
Huh.
It was like, of course it's real. What do you mean? It's absolutely real. I killed that virus. She felt like she was Buffy the Vampire Slayer. And it's interesting also that she was this little shy person at the beginning who I could hardly make out what she was saying. By the end of the call, I understood every word she was saying. And she was not little or shy or anything else. She was a giant. She really changed. Another thing I wanted to tell you, Barb, is a lot of the things that you've done that have helped me have not helped you. Because you're an experimenter. And that often helps me. And you don't make money running experiments. Just ask any researcher working in a university. They'll tell you they're all making these pathetic little salaries, They're totally changing the world, and they're just they're not profiting from it. I mean, you and I were both in universities, but I was in the research part of one. And I remember what they were like there. They were just like, you know, they were like hippies.
Yeah. Lots of my friends did that.
Yeah, like the doctor I worked for he was so excited about his experiments, but he was getting paid virtually nothing for doing them.
Mm.
I mean, maybe nothing. In fact, he got a grant that he could use to pay me, is what he got, you know. And then he had he got his salary at the university, and that was it. He wasn't getting paid nothing. So, anyway, with that, just so you know, Barb, like you've been doing a lot of good stuff for me, but it's not good for you. See, because the thing that you need to do, you know, let's go back.
Things will change. Things will change now.
Let me go back to something. You know how the Romans won?
Yeah, I guess.
How did they win?
Do I know how they won? Oh no, I don't know how they won.
They had a phalanx. That's how they won. They had this formation that they fought in. Like they locked their shields together. You know, 1,000 years later, people were still making shield walls, you know, like the Romans did. Mm-hmm. And they had their short swords, and they'd stab through the shield wall with this short sword. It was way easy to use a short sword, and they made like a square basically. Alexander the Great pioneered this approach. Like he was the guy who started the phalanx, and it works. You know, it like, in other words, you can fight and you can have like 10,000 men and fight an enemy with 100,000 men, and it doesn't matter because they can't get at you because you're in this box. You don't have any rear or any flanks. You're just this box. You know, when they come at you, you kill them. You know, and you just step over their bodies, and they would move this phalanx. It was like a tank. They would move it around the battlefield. And see, that's how you make money. Like, you don't make money by experimenting. It was the guys that were attacking the Romans that were doing the experimenting. The Romans had it down, like they never changed it. And see, if you want to make money, what you need to do is find something that makes money and don't change it and do it every day. Get it? That's how you make money, you know? So with that, go on mute. Franny, go on mute. Franny, you're off mute.
Sorry.
All right.
It's always when I'm rumbling something that goes off, you know.
All right, so back to Greg. So you're a guy named Jim who comes into the cafe.
And does it make a difference where I am?
You're standing in front of the counter.
No, but any cafe that we have. It doesn't matter if it's in Santa Fe, Albuquerque, LA, Sarasota,
any cafe, the generic.
The
cafe in the sky.
Okay.
The one we wish we had.
Yeah. Hey, this looks like a cool place. I've never seen you guys before. What do you have here?
We got Cure. You want some?
I saw that in the window. I mean, it's sort of what I'm kind of interested. What the hell is that? I know what it is to cure something. You know.
All right. Okay, do this. You're going to look for a signal coming through one of your hands, and you ask a question. Now, this is an involuntary signal. This is what mine looks like. See my finger?
Yeah.
You ask a question. So the question is, can I cure things? Go ahead.
So say that out loud. Can I cure things?
And look for that, like, it'd be like feel like a twitch or something.
Well, you know, it's like something wants to happen in me, but I think I'm kind of holding on in a way.
Okay.
kind of holding it together and kind of protecting myself a little bit.
That sounds like a signal. So
Okay. So maybe it's not totally the signal you're talking about, but
did the way you feel change as you did that?
yeah.
How?
Well, I started to get more like hot. And my body started changing. It's like rather than being a cool customer, I started like unraveling.
Okay. That's definitely a signal.
Uh-huh. Oh, that's weird.
Now, do you feel better or worse?
I have to say better. It feels worse to go back to how I was. Yeah, so I'd say better.
Well, that change in you, the better feeling, that's also a signal.
Okay, yeah, that is. Yeah, so it's all sort of a signal that I keep getting. A signal. It's like a signal. I'm here. Here I am.
Well, you know, that means you have a strong God connection.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Now keep looking for that signal in your hand. I have more things to do with you here. We're just getting started now. So ask a question, can I kill a virus? And look for like that little finger movement like I just showed you.
Can I kill a virus?
Call Barb back because she just fell off.
I know she was not been on for some time. I thought the phone was she was gonna get back on her own.
If she calls in, can you hook her into the call?
Absolutely, she just never does. She's asked me for like 7 years now what the number is.
Well, no, she's calling from Skype, Greg. She was on video.
Yeah. She's just lost it. So anyway.
Okay, while you're doing that, you're this fella.
So I've got
Any movement?
I kind of. It's kind of I just sort of feel it all in me. I think maybe sort of I'm thinking about it more, but I'm basically my body's saying yes. I mean, it gets that, like, I'm getting that sense of yes, that it's like a big signal.
Your
Big
lips
signal.
Your lips say no, but your body says yes. Okay. Do this. Now, this is an action. I'm now killing all viruses in all my bodies.
Actions. Act. Action. So I say that. Okay, say it. I'm now killing all viruses? No.
Barb is saying call me. She just sent you a message.
See what I mean? Okay. Busy. Try her phone.
Greg?
Hi.
Sorry, my computer charger's not charging it.
Oh, okay. Alrighty.
You just stay on, Barb. It's cool. It's cool. We're in the middle of this role play. Go ahead, Greg.
Alright,
Okay,
sure.
now, so,
Any movement in your finger yet?
I was just sort of getting, I say all viruses?
I'm now killing all viruses in all my
All
body.
viruses. You said all my bodies? All my bodies. I can see I have like 3 bodies.
You don't have to know what those are to do it.
Killing all my bodies. Okay, yeah, I'm getting that good feeling. I'm, you know, as I say this, it's kind of like I'm focusing more on the signal, and I say I'm getting energy in my fingers. I could see it's kind of a twitch. I could Yeah, so I'm getting, yeah, I'm killing all viruses in all my bodies. I'm killing all viruses in all my bodies.
You know, I have
So
to tell you,
it's
there's a woman I know who lives in Arkadelphia, Arkansas,
Oh yeah,
and she didn't get a finger signal for 6 months when she started doing this, and she cured the flu and all kinds of stuff.
without the signal. Okay,
No
well,
signal, and she was
Well, I
curing
can
like.
see that. I mean, I think I'm curing something. Something's changing in me. I feel better.
Well, that's a signal too, and she got signals. She just didn't get the finger one.
I can't say I was terribly sick when I came in, but I noticed that I still feel more myself, and I'm more in my own sorts. So that's kind of a change.
Well, she started. You know, she started doing this like this woman. Like she started doing this like maybe more like 20 years ago now. She started doing it almost when I did. She was like, I was 93. She was probably like 99.
She's 99 years old?
No, she was probably in 1999 is probably when she started.
I'm kidding you. I figured it out when you said 93. I said, you can't be 93. Yeah, all right. Yeah, well, good. So that, I see it. That doesn't really bother me. I think
Well,
so that's it, huh?
see if you get a signal on this. Ask, have I cured anything since I started doing this?
Have I cured anything since I started doing this? Well, when I really look to a finger, it's kind of, I notice the blood vibrating the finger, so it could be kind of a twitch. To me, it's kind of an increased blood flow, so that's all part of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right.
So I'm getting a yes. There's something I cured. Something's happened. I was saying that I'd really get that before I even tested it like that, or that's what you call it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you different now than before
Yeah.
we started? How so?
That's what I was saying, that I'm just more whole, and I think I was more separate from people. When I came in the door, I was looking for a connection, some good people. It seemed like a good place, so I feel like I'm not trying, kind of feel like just I've changed in myself, not necessarily disease
Uh-huh.
I know of.
Well, that's mostly what we cure, is that. Like, once you cure a disease, it's generally gone, so you can't keep curing diseases forever. But it seems like we have like an endless supply of shit to cure anyway.
Uh-huh. Okay.
You know, I'm feeling like pretty good doing this with you, by the way. I have to say, like, I feel a real sense of accomplishment.
Oh, neat. Okay.
You know, I like, you know, and I could see you're like a tough case, and you're doing pretty good. You know.
I'm a tough case. I thought you said I was really well connected to God.
Oh yeah. You definitely have a strong God connection. I can see it. But a lot of people who have strong God connections can be very tough cases. Except
Well,
probably you
like
aren't
tough
anymore,
case.
because you become more fluid now.
Yeah, more fluid. That's what I was saying. So, all right.
So without testing this, just tell me, like, is this real? Do you think this is real?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I feel a real difference for me. I'm not just making it up.
Okay.
No, if I walked out now, I'd say I really got something
Great. All right.
coming in today.
Well, see, there's that sign on the door over there, and it says "Expose yourself to cure, come back."
Oh, that's neat. Okay.
You notice it? Okay. But most people don't see that till they're leaving, you know. Anyway, I just want you to know that you may not have cured, you know, things that your heart desires to cure yet. But what you've done indicates that you're able to cure those things. Yep, you know?
Sure. Yeah.
Like, I've seen people cure cancer with this.
Uh-huh.
We recorded them, you know. We have a lot of recordings of people curing various diseases like Graves' disease and ankylosing spondylitis and, you know, traumatic stress and PTSD, you know, and stuff. I mean, all kind of depression, herpes, Epstein-Barr.
Uh-huh. So, yeah, you can deal with the physical. I bet the physical body's sort of slower because that seemed very quick to me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just seems like, you know, when I try to do something for myself, it takes a while for the physical body to respond fully. Well, I'm glad I came in. Well, I came in for some coffee, too. Do you have any good coffee here? What kind of coffee do you have?
You want me to pick for you, or you want to pick?
Well, what do you have? Then I'll tell you if if I don't know what it is, then I'll ask you.
Well, I'll tell you espresso, regular.
Oh, yeah, I meant the make of the coffee, but I'll have just a regular coffee.
Okay, they do use special coffee, but you know what? To be perfectly frank with you, I'm not like terribly
Not a coffee maker.
aware of. No, you know, see that stuff over there in that pot. That
Yeah.
hot, you know that. That's genmaicha. That's what I drink.
Uh-huh.
It's
I know what that is.
it's a kind of Japanese tea.
Yeah, I know what genmaicha is. Yeah, I like that one. I always ask for that when I go to a sushi restaurant. So.
Yeah, which they never fucking have it because it's too expensive, right?
Well, I don't. Yeah, I don't know.
I asked for it too, you know. Tell me the sushi restaurant you cut. Okay, this is good, what we're doing here. See, I got, this is, if you notice, like, this guy was ready to stop in a whole series of places.
Yeah, he was ready to.
And
He was
so
willing
was
to go on.
So was the woman I was talking to, by the way, this morning.
Yeah.
And she was a real person, but she was ready, like she'd been given something, she had enough. And you know, one thing I told her, and I think I need to add this to the outline, which is that you will know if you're going to cure what you want to cure, if like in an hour from now, after when we're not together, like if you walk away from me and you find that you're talking to yourself and looking for finger movements and you keep coming up with questions and seeing if you get a signal on them, then if you continue to do this as you walk away from here, then you're going to cure stuff. If you walk out that door and forget everything, it was like that was a nice experience, you know, ba-bum, you know, on to the next thing, let's go to the movies. Then you may have to come back to get started. See, I want you to come back, but I want you to be started when you leave now. So I don't want you to need to come back to get started. Which is why I'm saying this to you. Cut. I think that's something I need to add to the outline.
That's good.
Yeah. So, Greg, what are you looking at? You're looking at the outline, aren't you?
I'm just actually I'm looking at something here. The password. The guy who got the password.
Oops.
I was making a password for him, but
you're making
I think
a
that's good
oh,
because I noticed the guy. He could have left. He said that's enough. It's like he doesn't know to go further.
Yes, they don't know to go
you have
further.
To know that there's more and that you want more. You know?
That's why it has to be in the outline. Like, they don't know real is an issue unless you talk to them about it. And if you don't talk to them about it, like, Barb, remember what you were saying to me? You were saying that people tell you this is a virtual reality?
Yeah.
We could do a role play about that. You want to?
Okay.
That's good.
I'll tell you what. Who do you want to be who tells you it's a virtual reality?
I'll be fed up lately, but, let's see. I don't know. I'm not recalling anybody that I know saying like to me. It might be something I think that they think.
Well, just pick somebody out of a hat who once said that to you, and we'll use them as our scapegoat.
How about Michael?
Okay. All right. So you're Michael, and I'm you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you start and say what he says.
Well, it's just, any kind of group of people that gets together and all believes the same thing. It's just another, cult and sect of, dogma. It's a Christian style dogma that's a virtual reality of your own.
Okay. Test that. See if you get a signal on, that it's what you just said it is.
This dogma, yes. The Christian thing, yes. Yeah, I got yes on some of it.
Okay. So, okay, test this. Is that bad?
Bad. Well, I don't get a signal on that.
Okay,
Bad for me, it is.
so it's bad. It's bad. You got?
Well, bad for me.
Did you get a signal that it was bad?
No.
Okay, so it isn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the problem?
Mm-hmm. I guess I don't like being kicked out of things. Seems like there's too many rules.
You were not kicked out of anything. You're welcome to come to any meeting you want.
Well, I was like silenced because I wasn't saying the right things.
No, you just come and do what you always did, which was work on yourself, and you were very welcome, and people enjoyed you. The reason you got taken off the Twitter feed was because you just sent tweets that weren't about curing anything. And, it's okay to do that once in a while, but you were like only sending tweets about not curing things all day. You used Twitter to complain about shit. And that wasn't the purpose of the group. It's not a complaining group. It's a curing Twitter feed. We talk about what we're curing.
I see.
So we didn't want to have your tweets coming through. I mean, there's a lot of tweets in that thing to begin with, and then when yours came through, it was like it expanded it, and we had to wade through all these complaints that you were doing just to read what somebody cured.
Yep.
So you can be back in the Twitter feed if you want to tweet about curing stuff. Did I just cure anything right there?
I mean, talking about it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, cut. Now, Barb and Greg, see, this is what a cafe is like, Greg.
Mm-hmm.
That in a cafe, you're going to run into a lot of problems.
Yeah.
Like you're going to run into somebody like Michael who comes into the cafe and says, I got kicked out of the Twitter feed or whatever, you know? They're just a bunch of dogmatically positioned, you know.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, they'll be attack you with everything got.
Yeah.
What is this, Scientology?
Boy, that raises a red. Boy, I see red when somebody says that to me. I just want to kill them, you know.
Well,
Anyway,
doing Scientology.
but you can't kill them when you're, you know, when you're the owner of a cookie store, you know.
Yeah, not if you want people to come back.
You can't kill the customers. Also, there's all these things we don't allow people to do there. Like, we don't allow people to sit at the tables and do healings on each other.
Mm-hmm.
So what would you do there?
You go over and you'd say, you're ripping this person off because you're interfering with them, know that they can cure themselves and they don't need somebody to heal them.
Well, but I'm just helping her to heal.
That's what...
I'm just, I'm just...
Yeah, well, there's really... If she's doing it and you're helping, that's fine. But if you're doing it and she isn't, that isn't fine. Let me go to Ross, okay, Ross?
Okay.
Remember when Lise was in with the Cure team?
Well, Lee Andreasen.
Was, yeah, in the Cure, she was on the Cure team, remember?
Yeah, sure.
And we wanted her to do all these things, like post on Facebook. I remember she said, like, I can't do that.
Yes.
And wasn't she trying to be her own, like, wasn't she trying to do healing work with people?
I don't really know. Greg told me something about that. But when I came on the Cure team, that's more or less when Lisa left the Cure team because she couldn't do what was expected from her.
Well,
But I don't know if she was doing other forms of healing on other people.
well, see, the problem, Meher Baba said, don't be a healer. Because when you heal people, you're taking on their karma, which often results in you taking on their disease, and Lise now has cancer.
I have an experience about that. It is really awful.
Also,
Believe me.
you can't walk away from the Cure team and do Immunix, I don't think. I'm not sure about that, but I don't think you can do that.
Sometimes I wonder about people like Renee.
Yeah,
I
Renee.
remember. And what was the name of the other guy? There were some very good people in the Cure team, and then they left, and I don't understand why.
Well, sometimes it's just because they're stupid. And they don't. They don't make themselves sick. Like, you don't make yourself sick by being stupid. Okay? It doesn't do anything. It doesn't do anything one way or the other. You know, if you're trying to be a healer, then you could make yourself sick. But if you're just dumb, so you're not on the Cure team, you know. I'm not sure what happened with Renee, why she did that. I called her like 9 or 8 months ago or something, 10 months ago. It was before Christmas. and I said I'm going to get back to you after the holidays. You know, I never got back to her. I just kept doing something else, and I never found out anything about her.
I feel Renee was just very busy with her job. And you know, sometimes people have the illusion that as when they are on the cure team, things are going very well. They are very good and they don't need the others anymore. But it's not true.
I do remember that she started doing seminars about becoming wealthy.
You mean Renee?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So she was doing these seminars, and I think some of them were at the same time as the cure team. So she did that instead of being on the cure team. I think that was part of it. And also, maybe it seems like she cured this major disease, MS, but she didn't still know how important this is. I just think she may not.
Yeah.
She may just have been too dumb for it, you know? Even though she
wasn't grateful, probably.
Yeah, because she's very intelligent in terms of her IQ and all.
Absolutely.
But like dumb in terms of like street smarts, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway, a lot of people like that. And there's not much we can do, because if they don't present themselves, they have to bring, it's the habeas corpus, they have to bring the body before the court, you know, before we can help them.
Sure.
Well, anyway, this is then the see, there was something I wanted to do with Greg, okay?
Yes.
Like you were saying about this guy, like basically he felt like pretty good and he was different at the end of that role play, right?
Yes.
All right.
He started noticing right away the change, because he noticed the energy and your energy and what was going on there, which attracted him. And he said, "Oh, this looks like a cool place." He's walking along the street, and I could use a cup of coffee. I got time, you know.
You know, as you were describing him just a second ago, I was picturing somebody in an R. Crumb cartoon.
Yeah.
Walking down the street going...
Yeah, just trucking
down there. I could use a cup of coffee. Yeah.
He's like this.
Yeah, right. Okay. I want you to be Jason Alexander. And I'm going to be you.
Meet Jay Greenspan? Jay Greenspan. Okay. That's his name. Jason Alexander.
That's his real name is Jay Greenspan?
Yep. From Summit, New Jersey or somewhere around there. I don't know.
Okay. And what happened was I got in touch with you through your agent, and you called and left me a message. I'm Greg. I didn't answer the phone at the time. I tried to, but you hung up before I could grab it.
Ah.
And then I'm calling you back, and I just decided to wait a few hours and collect myself, and then I called you back.
Right.
So ring, ring.
Hello.
Hey, Jay. It's Greg calling you back.
Hey. Hi.
Hi.
I tried calling you.
I know, I got the message. It was just
All right.
too bad I couldn't be there when you called. But anyway.
She said something my agent, it got to my manager, and I don't quite know what it is, but it sounded interesting.
Well,
We got a few minutes.
are you sitting down?
Yeah, I'm sitting down.
You know, one thing I wanted to really thank you for, like, you know, like so many years ago, like you really empowered and supported me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you, like, you know, like it was an honor to, you really appreciated me, you know.
Mute, please. Granny, mute.
Okay.
You
Yeah,
you really appreciated me, you know.
yeah, I did. You were good. No, I know straight away. That's why I had Dana get a massage too. I gave it to her for her birthday.
That was a like it was a real wonderful thing that made me feel like I was 10 feet tall. You know, that you did that.
You had something. You had a real vision. You know, I felt you were really in touch with me and changed me a lot.
Well, you know, I never stopped doing massage. I just don't do it professionally anymore.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
But I still massage people. Like I massage my significant other, my wife. You know, the woman in my life. And you know, that's another thing. Like I'm still coming into my ability to love. Like when you were with Dana, you know, I really saw like real love there. Like how you really care for each other and love each other. And I don't know if I ever really achieved that pitch in my life yet, although I think I'm getting really close to it now.
All right, well, okay. It's,
I mean, I've been with the same woman for almost 30 years.
Uh-huh.
You know, when I still it's still a big struggle for me to just to connect that way, the way you connect so easily, you know. Well, I'm going to show you.
I go through my things too, you know. It's
you
just,
do?
Oh, yeah, we all have our bugaboos and our crosses to bear and things to, you know, to learn about. Everybody's got, you know, maybe different for some people. It may look different. I think maybe you're seeing me as, you know, at the time, you know, I was a celebrity and you were just a guy doing massage. That was many years ago. God, I mean, that was like,
well, you know,
geez, that was like in the 80s.
I'll tell you what I saw when I was with you was that you could have many women, and you chose this one woman, and you know, and you loved her truly loved, and that really impressed me.
Yeah.
I mean, it really did. You know.
Yeah. Thanks.
You have real values.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah. Well, that's kind of funny because I did, you know, I was not your typical hot, cool male specimen, you know, bully Jay. But yeah, I know. I think I had good family and good upbringing, and so yeah. And I reckon, you know, we've really grown together. We have a great relationship, have great kids.
Yeah.
They're all through college now. I mean, they're all grown up.
Oh my God.
Thank God for Seinfeld to put them all through college.
Well, I got nieces and nephews and stuff, so I sort of vicariously am able to participate. I never had children.
Yeah.
Well, now I want to show you something.
All right.
I'm going to show you how to do something.
Well, I heard your message. I figured it might have been something about that. So
yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, it's sort of like the kind of thing you already know how to do, but I want you to do it a little differently. Okay? So, what you're going to do is look for a signal coming through one of your hands, and it would be like a finger movement. Like, don't do your usual finger testing thing. Okay?
Okay, yeah, Dana does that a lot, but
just look for this. Just look for it's like a twitch, an involuntary movement, and so you're going to ask a question, and the question is, can I cure things?
So okay, can I cure things? I look for twitch or something. Can I cure things? Yeah, I get a little something. Yeah, I get a little twitch.
Okay. Can I kill a virus?
Hmm.
See if you get one on that.
All right, I'm going to do this in earnest. I started wandering. I was thinking about how Dana is so much easier than I am, and I'm just a big old curmudgeon. So can I kill a virus? Okay, I'm going to focus here. Can I kill a virus? Can I kill a virus? Can I kill a virus? Oh boy, there's so much going on with me.
Just feel.
Yeah.
Got it? Did you get it?
Well, I'm actually it's sort of like by doing this, I'm making it happen.
That's right. That's exactly right.
Like if I don't focus on it, I don't do it, I'm not really finding. I'm finding.
That's exactly right.
So I was thinking I was making it up, but no, I think it's like, this is like how you do it, by doing it, right?
That's how you do it. Yes, that's right.
By doing it.
It's an action.
So this is like killing a virus when I say I'm killing a virus and I'm killing
Yes.
it. Yeah, okay. Right, okay. Yeah, all right.
And did you get the finger movement?
By killing my my former manager. Yeah, man.
Killing your former manager.
I'm just kidding.
All right, cut.
Yes.
Cut.
Yeah.
Now I want you to imagine what I did with Mama Cole and with the guy that you played before. It's just going on like that.
Right.
And then after this meeting at some point today, I want you to go to the regular outline and imagine you're doing this with Jay.
Yeah.
And do each separate action and feel his response to each one. See, because we don't need to have any of these problems that we have. Look, go back into it
Yeah.
for a minute. You're in him. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me tell you the aim of this cult that we're in, okay?
Yeah. All right.
You know how like everybody knows the world is round?
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Well, we want everybody to know that they can do what you just did.
Uh-huh. Seems like everybody would want to do that if they knew what it was.
Yeah, like everybody now see, everybody is very happy for the world to be round now, aren't they? I mean, nobody's regretting that the world is round.
Solves a lot of problems.
Yeah, nobody's over there going, oh, you know, God dang it, I wish it was still flat. So, I want you to join forces with us.
Yeah, I can see that.
And figure out how you can push this in the direction of, like, maybe push the rock all the way over the cliff so that it rolls down the mountain. Like, we've been just rolling it towards the edge, but maybe you can get it, like, off the edge so it rolls down the mountain and goes all the way down and starts an avalanche. What do you think?
Gee, I don't know what I could do.
Maybe.
So you know.
Maybe connect me with the guy who does reality TV shows.
I got connections to.
I'm just throwing out ideas here. You know, have a benefit where, you know, somebody comes up to your house and you have people who can get something done, you know, in your living room, and we show them all how to do this together.
Yeah, I could do. I think they're, you know, have to be selective about who would really take to this and who would be a good person to have. I'm sure Dana has lots of connections.
Well,
in terms of.
Speaking of Dana, also that you and me get on a call with Dana on, and I do this with her, with you feeding input into it to kind of guide it a bit.
Yeah, sure.
I've always wanted to show her how to do the cut. So that's what,
No. Yeah.
that's what it can be. See, this is like, what we're noticing is that when people start curing things, they're still as sick and stuck and dysfunctional as ever.
Uh-huh.
And they don't see how to do it or why they should do it or whatever, unless, but the difference is that, like, for example, when I ask somebody, is this real?
Uh-huh.
They have a completely different response to that question if they've just been curing things than they would have if I showed them the website and asked them if it was real.
Right. Yeah.
It's just a lot easier to work with them. They're still fucked up, but it's just easier to work with them.
Yeah. Well, I noticed that, I guess I was starting to cure something in me. I don't know if it was any kind of physical malady, but I was feeling a little different and noticed more like personal power available, and I could see how easy it would be for me just to kind of go, okay, well that was great, and go on about my life and
Right.
not
That's
think
right.
about anything anymore. But,
Yeah, you have to get them every step of the way.
yeah.
That's what this outline is. And by the way, this is what it is to have a cafe as well. That in the cafe, you can do part of this with somebody.
Okay, so I'm sorry, I was being Jay too, but so now we're talking. Yeah, I guess you cut it before.
I
I
did.
wasn't sure.
I did. I did cut it.
Yeah, cut it.
In
but
the
I-
cafe,
Yeah.
somebody can come in and do a little bit, and you can let go of them, as long as you do each thing clearly and completely. See, the problem with, like, one of the reasons that, okay, Barb, to go back to you for a minute. Barb, come off mute. Barb? Uh-oh.
I may have walked away, but she's on her phone, so.
Hey, Barb, can you hear me?
When I'm calling you.
Well, I was just going to say to Barb that one of the things that made it, like sort of iffy to get that place, and I think one of the reasons Barb was hesitating to buy it herself, and sign a note to buy it, was that she was not exactly certain of how she would behave in these situations where people were challenging or behaving in an undesirable manner or whatever, like how she could just manage all these people through each thing. Just as, when I was you just now, and you were Jay, I was like in this place where I felt like very clearly that I could manage anything that you did. It was easy for me to feel that.
Yeah, and he knew that. He knew that he was in good hands, that he could let down his guard and just experience and try this. So he's not worried about me. He's not thinking about me. He focuses on himself.
So we do have something here that can be employed in a commercial establishment with training. This is, by the way, why I said, Greg, that I can hire somebody to manage this. Because, see, here's the thing, okay? With, when I did this outline with Mama Cole this morning, and I watched how she took to it, and she was she could have managed a Cure Cafe, all other things being equal. I mean, she's already a cashier in a supermarket, so she knows how to work the cash register. So right there, she has one of the skills needed. And then there's the little matter of curing things, and she's good at that, and it's real to her. And she was gung ho in 5 minutes. She was saying, I'll do it, I'll share it, I'll whatever, So Barb, are you there now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What I was saying is that I was thinking that one of the things that might have made you hesitate, when I was saying, well, why don't you just give her a promissory note for the thing, is that you were unsure about how you would handle all these various things that can come up.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe that was because we haven't practiced the outline enough in our meetings, or you haven't met with people and practiced it, or whatever, I don't know. But one thing I see is that Franny and Ross practiced the outline during their sessions, and they actually have gotten better and better. Franny was very klutzy with it when she first started, but she became, pretty regular as time went on. So Greg, you can get Jason Alexander or Madonna or somebody who you've known in the past as an ally.
Yeah.
You have a tool that you can use to do that.
Yeah.
If you can talk to them, if they'll talk to you, you can you can do it. I would suggest that you not tell them anything about it. Figure out something else to say to reach out to them. And then just do the thing when you get with them. You don't necessarily want somebody to make a judgment call before you're doing it with them. Because it's way easier to make a negative judgment call when you're not doing it than when you are doing it.
Yeah.
So, if possible, get the person in range before pulling the trigger. And with that, and on that note, Bono, do you have anything to say?
No, I've been listening attentively.
And
You have.
Yeah.
how did I do? Give me a little...
Well, I thought you did fine. I mean, you tend to ramble a lot, but lately.
I'm still rambling, huh?
Yeah.
Lynn Rose.
After all these years?
Rambling.
Well, let's link our... Can we test? Can I link my etheric body with JFK?
Yeah.
Yes, yes.
He's reincarnated, guys.
Mm.
So he now has another etheric body. So I'm linking my etheric body with his. Oh my God, he's an insurance salesman in this lifetime.
Oh my God. He's in for a big problem.
And he lives in Italy.
He lives in Italy. Actually, I was thinking that, Greg needs to call him and get that insurance policy.
Hey, I can get an insurance policy.
All right.
I met Robert Kennedy's son. Of course, I just sold him some books at Harvard. But I was familiar, could say hello to Kathleen Kennedy. That was Is it Robert's son or Ted's son? I don't know. Anyway, one of the cousins. But I can't say, she became the Lieutenant Governor, Kathleen Kennedy Townsend. She was Lieutenant Governor of Maryland, then she lost for the governorship. It was right out of the wire. It was like the best candidate did not win.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Well, this is it, guys. The meeting was supposed to have ended a few minutes ago. Thank you all. Barb, thanks for being here. Thanks for shivering.
Yes,
Thanks for shivering through this meeting. Okay.
And then see you on Tuesday, Barb. Okay.
Sounds good. Thanks.
And we're all link. Let's link with JFK again.
And this is also the day that C.S. Lewis died, and Aldous Huxley.
All right, let me link with C.S. Lewis. Oh my God.
Aldous Huxley, he's important writer.
And Aldous Huxley, I'm linking with him.
Remember how I tested that? That was one of my traumas as a kid, and I've had this big connection with JFK. And one of my friends here in Albuquerque, turns out that her father was within his press corps, and she has all this material of JFK's, in her home. And then I found out yesterday that my college roommate sat next to him on an airplane when she was really little.
Oh my God.
She remembers writing, yeah.
Yeah.
So that means, does that make me 1 degree of separation or 2?
Well, so are you in trauma now? Do you still have trauma about that?
November was always a lot of stuff bad happened in November. But, it might be one of those dimensional returns, but,
Tess, do I have any trauma?
yeah.
Am I traumatizing myself yet still from this?
I seem to always get it like a dimensional return in November, December.
All right, so now just say I'm now removing this dimensional return. Dimensional returns are very easy to pop out of.
Dimensional.
Yeah, I did. Where am I?
Can we have a lesson about that in the future?
Sure.
I was clearing my trauma about that time because I was 14 and went to stand in line with 250,000 other people to trudge through the Capitol and see him lying in state. I saw the beer coming by, and I was telling Bayard how Jackie Onassis came in. Everyone's silent. She came in just to say goodbye again. I didn't even know who it was until I said, "My God, it's Jackie." It didn't look like, like Jackie you see on television. But, because I had all this stuff as a child, and now as an adult, I feel able to, clearing up things from the past. But I was watching all these documentaries last night on television and testing and clearing up and seeing who he was and how I was and what I did to myself and how I stayed a child. I would not really come into my own. I held people in esteem like they're different, and I'm not.
I've seen that in you, and that has really interfered with you interacting with people.
Yeah.
On a professional level. So now, Tess, have I cured it?
I have cured it.
Congratulations, because that alone can result in us getting an ally. Just the fact that you've cured that. All right, thank you all. This is what was a wonderful meeting.